Hello everybody, how are you going? And welcome to some CCA, some concerned children's advertisers in Canada, I guess if you want to be chucking another C in there, who always conjure up some very weird and wacky stuff, but I always like how efficient they are at getting their point across. And so this one is called Head. Okay. Let's go.
When it's time to eat, use your head. Choose a variety of foods every day.
Long live kids. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I had no idea where that was possibly going to be going, especially with the title as ambiguous as that. But realistically, like I said, they were very direct. Use your head when you were choosing what you want to be eating. Now, obviously, a lot of kids don't choose what they eat the majority of the time, but if they do open the fridge up with a whole plethora of choices to eat, maybe don't just go for the piece of cake every time, or whatever it may be. It is just going to be helping you out in the long run if you maybe have the grapes, or maybe have a soup, or anything like that. However, at least now that I have finished all 32 seconds of this clip, I can come down here and have a bit of a read, because I don't like to have the spoilers. I don't like to have it tell me what it is before the ambiguous video clip shows me what at least it is trying to communicate. And I mean, this one was posted in 2008, of which is such a long time ago in YouTube terms, but I still don't think that that would be originally when these came out. I mean, I certainly hope not in a way as well, or I don't know if I hope so or hope not, because all the trends show that as much as they might be telling kids to be eating with their heads, like I said, if they aren't picking every meal and they don't know what to be eating, the trends certainly skew in the negative direction in terms of all the different obesity rates, especially in children. Coming back to the video though, I would love to know when this officially came out, because there is obviously some green screen use just chopping him off the neck. I can only imagine he's in kind of like a green bodysuit, morph suity thing, but then to be having his head roll around, there is a little bit of VFX in here, and so the budget on these is always a bit of a weird one, because some of them feel so low key. Doesn't mean they're good or bad, but so low key. Just if it's a little animation, it might have cost $5,000 to animate it, where this, if they've got the entire film crew and the personnel, at least it's only one actor, but then the VFX, it's going to be a bigger budget than anything that you could possibly draw up if you had to do it absolutely on the cheapest. But hey, on top of it all, I also just do love how they wrapped it up here, just saying long live kids, something that most people would never even really consider, because on a kid's timeline, usually we're not thinking about long living or short living of kids. It's so far in their future that it's not really a problem. But if you aren't thinking with their head in terms of what they're eating, both from a parental figure and from the kid's point of view, they might not have the long-live part, they might have the short-lived part. But hey, I've now just moved on to the next clip, which is called Body. However, I'm having a bit of deja vu, and so I think I know where this is going to be going, but it's only 32 seconds, so we'll give it a little bit of a watch and see how they like to mix it up between the head and the body. Oh yeah. Oh, it's different. It's like put his head down. Fair enough.
Get up and move your body at least 30 extra minutes each day.
I see. That is not actually the exact direction that I thought they were going to be taking with it. I thought they were going to be going, look, the head makes certain decisions, but think about the body. Think about what you were going to be putting in it, whether it's the cake in the fridge. No, just avoid that. Go for the random plastic container, whatever it's got in it. But that is not the route they went down. Instead, they were going for the actual movement and exercise part. And I guess that is why they start him on the computer, because he's clearly spending too much time on the computer. He's going to develop square eye syndrome. To be honest though, I'm a little bit more creeped out by this one than the last one. It's the last one I feel as though I could forgive it, because the head was still being carried around and it was still kind of active within the entire video. Whereas this one, with the head just sitting on the desk, just staring at us, meanwhile the body is out there dancing. I mean, if nothing else, the neck is going to need a workout. Otherwise the head is just going to be flopping around while he's trying to be on the computer or go pick up containers, unless picking up the container is the exercise. And he also, with all these incredible moves, I have to give a shout out to the actor that played that, because especially for his age, if that is who it is, that guy did a very, very good job of just using all the different moves possible. I mean, sadly, he obviously couldn't do a head spin, and I don't know you'd particularly want to on the carpet, but he literally cannot do a head spin because he removed it. But any minutes is better than no minutes, and so between choosing the right meals and getting out there and burning some few extra calories, I like where they're going for this, especially like I said, with the trends skewing in the negative direction. There are plenty of kids that could maybe hopefully take this on board as much as they possibly can within their own little circle of choices.
Oh, there she is. She's such a loser.
I know.
What a geek. Get lost.
Words hurt. Don't be a part of it.
Oh, jeez. They absolutely went after the full literal meaning of words hurt, didn't they? I mean, I feel as though there could have been so many ways they could go about it, just saying the long-term implications, how it affects someone, if they were showing a 30-year-old just having kind of almost flashbacks to words hurt, but no, just dragging her around, slapping her across the face, booting her out the door. They were all just the relatively normal words, like not even words that are that crazy in the grand scheme of things, and she was still getting whipped everywhere. I mean, I understand that they can't be going too crazy with it, but I would have expected them to branch out a little bit more than loser, nerd, and geek. I mean, maybe it's a sign of the time, so to say, but I feel as though there are plenty of people all around the world that are exposed to words and things that are way worse than just that. And so what's going to be happening to them? They're just going to get rocketed through the ceiling? Are they going to get crushed through the ground? Are they going to get stuffed inside one of the, what are they called? Lockers? And don't even get me started on if there was going to be more than 3 people laughing at you. I mean, sure, it's all fine and dandy to get slapped across the hallway, but she was in a swarm of bees, just of hearts. That's just, imagine if there was 10, 15, 100 people around you. Then you'd be absolutely screwed. So as much as I do love the overall direction that they took this entire clip into, you know, with the stunts throwing her into the lockers and slapping her across the face, I think it's a very, very simple way to communicate what they're trying to get across. I just feel as though on the topic of bullying like this, they could have afforded to go a little bit harder hitting, especially with the words. They can convey it being a more harder hitting thing, not just having her surrounded by bees. To be fair, maybe they are trying to say that these more basic bullying words can still pack a hell of a punch, but really I feel like they could have just thrown a couple harder hitting ones in there just to have people more on their side go, yeah, that's actually what I hear. Not nerd, not geek, but whatever it may be.
Advertisers.
Oh, interesting. Obviously, this one is a little bit newer, even just looking at that, and I would like to know, when did this come out? It's saying it was uploaded by these people in 2010, which is a little bit earlier than I would have expected it to be. I mean, I don't know if it was exactly made in 2010, but I cannot see with that computer and a few other contextual clues that it would have been much earlier than that. But look, coming back to the video itself, I think that this has to be my favorite one of the day, as there just isn't that many things I can fault it on. Yes, on face value, it might seem a little bit weird to be having a monkey following you around, just patrolling your every move. I think at the same time, it's kind of just teaching you to have a second pair of eyes out for yourself. Don't be watching random stuff on TV, or don't be absorbing random stuff on TV. There are better things to be watching than random ways to watch this stuff. Go and watch some gorillas, whatever it may be. There are educational things that you can fill your head with instead of just absolute garbage that is so many people are just bombarded with every day, and then it's kind of inescapable, so it just gets implanted in your mind whether you like it or not. To be fair, I am a little bit disappointed because I think that this would have been the perfect opportunity for the house hippo to make its triumphant return and to showcase why you should be keeping them around your house. You know, it can unplug the TV, it can eat your magazines, all of those kind of things. It can do what the monkey can do, but you also get a house hippo. But no, look, realistically, I have to give props where props are due, because the CCAs do so well in communicating their ideas in a way that kids can understand, but more so in a way that they will actually retain. You know, I always see comments from people saying that they haven't seen these clips in years, but they can still recall them verbatim, or they still live by the messages that they learned 40, 50, 60 years ago. And so as weird and as wacky as these may be, I think that they are an absolute necessity and an absolute national treasure.